All right, hey, hot topic right here for sure. I just got finished the other day looking at a documentary. Don't know why it slipped my mind. It should have never slipped my mind, but then I started thinking. You have a lot of residents, a lot of United States residents, Americans, that are along that Mexican border down there. And we all know what happens whenever the government decides that they are going to actually come in and they're going to do what they want to do. If they come to you and make any type of proposal for your land, you can pretty much call it a done deal because they're going to get it. It's something called eminent domain. They'll make up something. You got the spotted owl mosquito on your land. And because it's an endangered species, we have to protect this land. And then they go and take your home from you for pennies on the dollars. If if the going rate in your county is $3,000 an acre, $5,000 an acre, they'll give you $200 an acre. And in order to accomplish the government's mission. And it's pretty sad because a lot of people in America is not familiar with this. And so when you're talking about building this wall, you're talking about a lot of people's lives getting ready to be affected in a very, very serious way, in a very serious manner. And those of us who are nowhere near the wall, how Americans think, well, it don't concern me, none of my business, and nothing is ever really truly pressing on us until it comes to our own backyard. There's like we don't care about nobody else's plight until something happens to us, and then we want a concerted effort and we want a concerted voice to come out and join with us to help us in our moment of hurt, in our moment of pain. And they have done a good job. Those who are the psychological analysts and everything in this country and stuff, they have done a very good job at keeping us divided as a people. It's no wonder, I think totally different. For instance, I'm driving down the road, I look at all these individual homes and houses, all right? And I look at everybody with their own homes and houses and stuff. And out here, homes are pretty spread out. It's not like in the city where you can take your arms and stretch them out and then you're right next door to your neighbor. No, but there's great gaps in homes out here in the country. But I thought about, look at this though. What a way to actually change the minds of the people to get them to be even more divided. You see, I'm of the mindset, think about this. Let's say if your father if he had any wisdom at all, and most of them don't. Let's say if he had 50 acres of land. Man, that's a lot to be able to, watch this, build a nice size tribe or nice size community with your own family on it. And see, the powers that be, they don't want this kind of talk ever because there's too much unity. They don't want something to ever have to go down and then they have to roll up on somebody's private property and then they got to meet uncle, cousin, brother, niece, nephew, and everybody else, and all of them armed. I'm telling you. But see, think about that. Dad had some land. You go out and get a lady. She becomes your wife. You have a family, builds a home on that land. And then your sons build a home on that land. And then another sons build a home on that land. And everybody gets a little partial acreage and stuff like that. You see, that's community. That's real community. Not people out here who you don't even know who your next door neighbor is. He could be an axe murderer, a serial rapist, a child molester. He could be part of Pizzagate. You don't even know. But see, the powers that be toying around and playing around with our minds. And they can't stand independent research and independent thinking. They can't do it. They can't stand you using self-autonomy. So they think for you. They have think tanks that think for you, and they appease you by actually associating with your hurt and pain and stuff and trying to make you feel a part of something when you are not a part of it at all. I said it once, I said it 1,000 times, and I picked this up in the government. It's the government versus the people. And we're going to watch this even more so when this wall starts going up, because this wall issue is not going anywhere. Most people think that it's just hot air and talk. It's not hot air, and it's not just talk. It's going to happen. And it's not a matter if, it's a matter of when. The stories that we really truly need to be paying attention to is all of these people that's getting ready to get displaced out of their homes by the federal government. I'm telling you, that's what we're getting ready to be faced with. It's a sad situation, sad reality, but nevertheless, it's the truth. And when thinking about this, you ought to start thinking about, okay, your life personally. If many of you had considered the things that I've said some time ago, You won't believe the type of relationships, the type of family structures you could have had. But who wants to pay attention to someone like me who is speaking truth? I'm telling you, once you're in the matrix, man, it's hard. It's hard to wake up and come out of it. It really, truly is.